Yo, welcome back. It's a Freaky Friday. You're watching Liquid Lunch on Biz TV. We're hitting it hard every single day in many ways. We're delivering you the news with the booze. We take a look at the lighter side of things, of course, but we're always dealing it out straight up. That's for sure. And, sometimes I exaggerate, hypothecate, estimate, do other things. At the end of the show, my team keeps me honest, or at least they try to. It's hard for them to catch me in a mistake when they know very little, so I could be saying something that they just agree with. Jess is doing multitasking, so she usually catches the material ones. So we'll see. But in any event, on Fan Friday, the room is open for anyone who would like to call in and talk. Everybody's in the stream. You're welcome to come on. Charles Vincent is on there. I am drinking a 1942 infused margarita to celebrate International Tequila Day. Now, you're going to need a drink to really absorb this stuff and then not blow a gasket, okay? How dumb do they think we are, okay? There is a trail of dead bodies behind and around Jeffrey Epstein, okay? It's like the last scene in Reservoir Dogs. Everybody's on the floor dead, okay? Here's a recent tweet that you probably missed. A lot of us probably missed. There's so much news flying around and all kinds of crap in the air. Thomas Kennedy texted the following: Jeffrey Epstein dies while in custody. His private banker is found dead via hanging. A judge who got a case 4 days ago related to Epstein tied to Deutsche Bank has her son murdered and husband shot. And then the shooter is found dead. So, we know, I have covered it voluminously on this show, that there is no way that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. I myself personally do not even believe he is physically dead, although that's what's been told to us. I don't even believe that. And I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe the guy's dead. Go back to the New York Post. The morning after Jeffrey Epstein was dead, they have him on a stretcher, or a person looking somewhat like him being wheeled into, downtown Bellevue Hospital with no oxygen on and no neck brace or anything. It's kind of weird, okay? I don't believe he's dead. But he definitely didn't commit suicide. Now, who is this banker everyone's talking about? Apparently, the Judge Salas, New Jersey federal judge, who was just handed this case that was looking into the records for Jeffrey Epstein and his dealings at Deutsche Bank. That judge had a shooter show up at her house in a FedEx, killed her son, and shot her husband, nearly fatally killing him, okay? Now, just a few months ago, back in 2019, when we were living in civilized times, Jeffrey Epstein's private banker found dead by suicide, and they have suicide in quotes, right? Let me tell you a little bit about this guy. His name is Thomas Bowers. He was the chief of Deutsche Bank's private wealth management division, working out of their Park Avenue offices. He gave Jeffrey Epstein like hundreds of millions of dollars of loans for him to use to make international wires, okay? And Epstein, in turn, helped bring in new business to Bowers, so everyone was happy. And according to Economic Collapse News, Epstein made Bowers and his financial institutions hundreds of millions of dollars. It didn't even matter. Epstein stiffed Citibank for $30 million because he brought in so much other new money, so they were happy. And the relationship with Epstein continued until Bowers left Deutsche Bank in 2015. By that time, Epstein had multiple millions in loans with the help of Bowers, and he recruited many of his top wealth bankers over to Deutsche Bank to go with Bowers. So let's break it down. Jeffrey Epstein finally gets arrested for child rape, okay, pleads guilty to solicitation of child prostitute. Gets some sweet deal where he only has to do weekends in jail, okay, at the Palm Beach County lockup. And He's out. He had to register for the rest of his life as a sex offender. Okay, that's number one. He's finally brought to justice and arrested. They get him in jail. He's a high-profile prisoner. Suddenly, he's dead. And it's supposedly suicide. His family brings in Michael Baden, one of the most famous forensic pathologists in the world, and he says that he had his this soxic bone in his neck or something like, I forget the name, but this bone in his throat was broken, which is typically not broken in a suicide. It's broken when somebody grabs you around the neck, shakes you like this. So no one believes that Epstein killed himself. Next, his private banker at Deutsche Bank, remember that name, Deutsche Bank, okay, committed suicide just recently in December of 2019. So the guy with all the knowing, all the knowledge and information on all Epstein's dealings, all the other people he brought into the bank, he's hung, okay? Yes, just a few days ago, the judge who just got handed this case has a lone gunman show up at her house, kill her son, blast her husband, almost kill him, and then this guy winds up dead, okay? And you start thinking, like, what's really going on here? You know, and I've been trying to go down the rabbit hole on the whole Pizzagate and all this other stuff, and it's like, you start thinking, like, is there too much coincidence here? I mean, everyone that's attached to this whole ring of Hollywood elites that were around Jeffrey Epstein, anybody that has material information, it seems like, is dead. And the major media is taking the president to task, saying, oh my God, he wished Ghislaine Maxwell, he wished her well. I'd be wishing her well too. Because she's a witness that can give up the whole world of elitists, the Bilderbergs, all these people out there that are supposedly in this ring of elitists who are drinking adrenochrome and referring to, you know, little kids as pizzas and hot dogs. If anybody knows about this stuff, it's Ghislaine Maxwell. So knowing what the president knows, knowing how many people around Jeffrey Epstein just miraculously end up dead, it turns out that I'd be wishing her well too, because I wanted to stay alive and go to trial, and I want everything to come out. And in another ruling yesterday, there was a case between one of Epstein's alleged accusers, I think her name is Ms. Giuffre, where she was going after Alan Dershowitz and some others with a defamation case. And some of the discovery on that case was sealed. And Ghislaine Maxwell and others were arguing for that to stay sealed. And yesterday, a judge ordered that it's in the public domain to be released. And there are a lot of, you know, tweets and posts out there and saying this is the actual Epstein's flight log with all the people that went on his plane. You don't know how many of them are accurate. Apparently, in this discovery that is set to be exposed in the next week, the actual original flight logs are in there, and I think that's going to shed a lot of light on who's been going down to Little St. James Island and having pizza and hot dogs and washing it down with some little kid's adrenochrome. So, you know, I think we're going to find out a lot of stuff very shortly. And also, big top news, just released last night, you know, the new Director of National Intelligence unclassified a whole bunch more documents, and it is now 100% categorically proven that Jim Comey, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden were absolutely positively knowing and running the investigation and spying on Donald Trump's campaign. In fact, Peter Strzok, one of the lead investigators, admitted in front of Congress that they had no information, but it turns out that he put on a FISA warrant that the Steele dossier was a good, verified document. James Comey lied about it too. And in Peter Strzok's own handwritten notes released last night, it says VP, Logan Act, and the notes suggest that Joe Biden himself asked them to look into charging Flynn with the Logan Act. So the plot thickens all around. I'd love to see a big birthday cake right now of all this stuff come together at once and watch Donald Trump waltz to victory. But that's going to happen anyway. The silent majority is going to keep speaking up. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back right after this with more conspiracy and more news of the day and plenty of tequila.